Hey everybody, we're still at the Getty and it's still April 29th and we did this one. So I think we'll move on to um, a sketchbook. So this is a fun sketchbook and this is kind of my, what I call the Getty sketchbook. Most, sketches like the last drawing we just did, who cares? Sketch, but these kind of go back into them. I've already shown it to you guys, but I'll go back into it a few times, keep working it. So might go back into this drawing 2 or 3 times, or this one 4 times. You know, this one, this was just one session, but you know, this one I went back way too many times. This was fun. So that was fun. This one would be a lay-in. Just leave it. I could go back to it, but I kind of liked it. Kind of liked the feeling. It felt good. But I could go back and hit the chorus and cast, maybe. But it's fine. It's just what it is. But this one I went back many times. It's, I don't know, could have been Rubens. This one's from the Getty. It's not a portrait, you would say, but it just look just like her. So what? We're just sketching. Okay, this was definitely the Getty in the library. This one was from a model, so I'm really getting into it. So let's go back to the Getty, and we're already here. So let's go back and find another day. Let's see, 2/17/23, a few years ago. Oh, I remember this. This was a good show. So let's see what we have. Look at that. So this is before I was able to get into the library. But these are shows. This guy was kind of cool. Want to be part of it? I've drawn it before. All right, so here we go. Just over here. So this was a drawing show they had. See? You see it? Oh, glare. Oh, you know what? I wanted to turn off the lights. I think we're okay. Yeah, we're pretty good. Yeah, shadows aren't too bad. So you have a little bit of light from above in here. Yeah, that's pretty good. So people are bragging about, they're doing their videos in 4K. I'm just doing mine in okay. Let's draw. So they're 4K, we're okay. So here we go. Let's come down this way. Cervical vertebrae number 7. That's the back. I don't know what I'm doing with the neck yet. The head. I might have some fun with it. So we're gonna come down here. If I knew somebody who had a back that looked like that, I would recommend him to a friend of mine who's a back doctor. All right, I'm gonna go here. Oh, this paper feels good. Sexy. Okay, this is good. So I'm gonna come around this way. My clients used to go, you're the only one I know who calls paper sexy. All right, so I'm gonna go here and boom, 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 curve, put it straight. Used to tell my, tell a client, this paper is like Godiva chocolate. It's just sexy. Like, you're crazy. I said, well, wait till we print on it and you'll know what we're talking about. So I love paper. I have lots of it. Being a print rep, you have access to so much. You're right there with the source with the paper. And the reps are coming in trying to sell you their paper because they want you to recommend their paper to your customers. So I'm like, give me samples. So they would give me these beautiful samples. And I would just draw on them. Okay, the leg, we can just kind of come out this way. We'll just draw this part. It's not going to take forever. Let's have some fun. If the body's going this way, And the arm's going this way. Let's make the head go the other way. Hmm. Okay. Something to think about. Maybe. Or we can keep pushing it. We can go like that. What if we could keep pushing the head this way and then make him kind of depressed? We'll come back. And that's why when you're looking at these Renaissance drawings, you'll see like 3 or 4 heads, you know, or 3 or 4 hands or arms, because you're trying to figure it out. But I know I got cervical vertebrae here, and nothing I can do. The scapula is going to float. This is a linen paper. You can feel it. It's like a linen. Yeah, paper called laid. Like, what are they thinking about? Nice flow. Okay. Rib cage. Sacrum. More hips. So now I have a narrow rib cage, wider hips. He's now a female. How's that for not copying the model?
You're not printing, are you?
Okay. So my wife asked me if I'm printing. That's funny. Here we go. Boom. All right, so now we need to really feel. So this person's kind of depressed. So this would be texture up there. So then his arms on the knee. My arm's going to be coming up under the head. And gotta have a hand. Medial line of the scapula. Teres major and minor. Infraspinatus. Supraspinatus. Cranium process. Deltoid. Hard edge. That's what's going to be a texture. Deltoid. Tricep. Olecranon. Latissimus dorsi. Bone. Midline. Rhomboid. Scapula on this side. I wonder if it'd be best to. Yeah, it was looking this way. So the drawing's going to tell you what it wants to do. This point right here is going to guide the eye. And then this is going to have a point there in the hair. And the head's all guide the eye, pushing it up. When you're doing this line here, where anything that's transitioning from the upper torso to the bottom, put a straight line. So if you connect the leg up too high, it's going to stiffen your drawing. So it's your femoris triangle, it'll transition there. Something like that. Boom. And then put the light in. So if you're copying the pose, really don't. I mean, it's kind of yesterday, especially now with AI. You can take this pose, put it in AI, and tell it what you want. It'll do it for you. Like I can say, make this any actor or actress, whatever. Yeah, I will do it. But we need to get this first, creativity. And that's what I'm teaching at our school. So, I'm lucky because, we have kids at our school. They're very young. We have kids at 4.5 years old, 5 years old. And they're learning that, they're not doing figure drawing, but they're learning what will eventually be the tools for it. And first thing, tell the parents, don't worry about coloring in the lines and don't take away scribble scrabble. We need that. Let them daydream and let them, we don't care that it looks just like what they're drawing. We want to have what's in their head. So kind of getting ready for the future. We're very lucky that I get to have that opportunity. So yeah, and I'm lucky also that people feed me the information that we need. But then today, I really wanted to know about this this new stuff. Brain drain. Like explain that to me because it might have helped me on a project I'm working on. And they're explaining it to me. These kids are my teachers. They're 12, but I really respect them. I listen to them. You look at these kids and you can project them like 10, 15 years later. Wow. Wow. Are they powerhouses? God, they're great. So, if we had some bad, you kind of look at your students, they come through in phases. Luckily enough at my school, we don't have that problem, but, I'm not teaching universities, but, you get a group and you go, oh, God, chill out. And then you get another group coming through and you go, thank you. At my school, it's always, thank you. I don't know, I'm lucky I get the good ones. But I really, really think they're the best. But I'm listening. All right, that's a sketch. But look what it came from. See? There it is. Our technology, Siri just answered. Isn't that kind of creepy that, Siri's listening to you? You know, sketching. Day at the Getty. Okay. We're going to stay at the Getty. Let's do some more drawing.